Hello, everyone. So glad to see you because it's Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Today is February 14th. Some people are celebrating Valentine's Day.
It's true.
Today.
It's true.
It is not a Jewish holiday.
That's also true.
We celebrate the Day of Love, in the summertime.
Yes.
In a holiday called Tu B'Av. But it's always good to tell people you love them, so
Yeah, every day can be a love day.
Every day can be a love day. We are going to begin our service as we always do. We rise together and face the Nagel Yisrael, or if you don't have a flag of Israel, put it in your heart. We rise together for Hatikvah. So now it is time for Torah. You may be seated. It's time for Torah. And today's Torah is called Truma. Everyone say Truma.
Truma.
Truma means gifts. And in this portion, Moses, on the command of God, asks all of the Israelites to bring, guess what?
Truma.
Truma, gifts, in order that they may build the first temple, the first worship place of the Jews, which is the Mishkan, the tabernacle, the tent of meeting, whatever you want to call it. It is the first formal place of worship for us as Jews, and they're about to build it in the desert and use it for the 40 years that they wander in the desert, and they're going to use it all the way up until the time where they get into Israel and build the first permanent temple in Jerusalem. Now, some people call the first temple in Jerusalem the first temple, but those who know that the first temple was actually the form of a tent. It just wasn't a permanent temple.
Right.
So, there was a lot of stuff needed, but not everyone had the same amount of money, did they, Cantor?
Yeah, or stuff.
Or stuff. And not everyone could contribute in the same way, could they, Cantor?
Yeah, because people have different gifts.
People have different gifts. So, Cantor, God and Moses asked the people to give according to their
heart.
That is, give what feels right, what feels good, and what you're able to do. And some people gave of their money and of their stuff, and some people gave of their talents, like artists and architects and builders and carvers and metal workers and all kinds of stuff like that. And people gave of their heart, meaning really they gave of themselves whatever they could give. think about right now, what is your heart? What is your essence? What is your special skill that you can share with the world or with other people? That's what God's asking the Israelites to do in the desert, and that's what God asks us to do every single day. All right, well, we're going to continue now with our Tafilah as we turn together to page 3.
Page 3, that's my favorite.
It's my favorite too, and we rise together for Baruch. And now that we are risen and we're all warmed up and ready to pray, I ask you my question, how many God is there? One God. So let's turn to page 4.
Page 4, that's my favorite page.
My favorite page too for Shema.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Excellent work, everyone. Please be seated. Hey, Cantor,
Yes.
guess what?
What?
It's time for the Amidah of the week.
The Amidah.
And this is a great one. We've talked about it a little bit already,
It's true.
but it is the Amidah of not embarrassing others. And in Hebrew, Cantor,
Lo levayesh.
and this is something that is stressed over and over again, and as we already know, it's in fact part of other midot as well, including the one about rebuke. The rabbis say that a reputation is so important that we have to go out of our way to make sure that we are not embarrassing people, because the rabbis equate embarrassing someone to stealing stealing their good name, stealing their good feeling, or even stealing their confidence in their work or whatever it is they were doing. Just because someone can do something a little better, or just because someone did something wrong one time, does not make them wrong. Who here has made a mistake? Who here has made a mistake today? Okay. We make mistakes. We're human beings. And so, in recognition that we are all not perfect. In fact, Judaism tells us that perfection is never the goal. That we need to go out of our way to not embarrass people. So, it's not even always about what people do. If someone has a rip in their clothing, should you shout across the room and say, "Hey, the barn door's open"? No. No, you should do it quietly and privately, right? "Hey, you got some spinach stuck in your teeth"? No. Quietly and privately, so that we can all not be embarrassed. And you know what we should never be embarrassed about, Cantor?
Hebrew?
Hebrew, that's right. The Hebrew word of the week is
Aunt.
aunt. Aunt, aunt, however you say it. How do you say it in Hebrew?
Doda.
Doda. And remember last week I said that we have some really close friends in Michigan that call me Dode Scott, which means Uncle Scott. Well, they call my wife Doda Randy, which means
Aunt Randy.
Aunt Randy. So, how do we say Doda in English, Cantor?
Aunt.
How do we say aunt in Hebrew, Cantor?
Doda.
Doda, we're from different parts of the country, that's clear.
That's
and
clear.
how are we going to remember that, Cantor?
My aunt needs some dollars will do.
Yo, my aunt needs some dollars will do. Doda, indeed. What is Doda in English?
Aunt.
And what is aunt or aunt in Hebrew?
Doda.
Excellent. Well, we've come now to what I like to call the central portion of our worship, which is Tafilah, also called Amidah, which is our standing prayer. So guess what? Let's all rise together as we turn to page 6.
Page 6, that's my favorite.
Page 6 is my favorite. For the Amidah, we haven't done it in a while, so we're going to do the whole shebang bang. Yep. And let's get to it.
Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Velohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Velohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor Vehanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Vezocher Chastei Avot V'imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'nehem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer Umoshia Umagein, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magein Avraham, Vezrat Sarah.
Page 7.
Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai, Mechayei Hakol Atah, Rav Lehoshia, Mashiv Haruach Umorid Hagashem, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechayei Hakol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umkayem Emunato Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Bal Gevurot, Umido Melach, Melech Memit Umchayeh, Umotz Miach Yeshua, V'ne'eman Atal Hachayot HaKol, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechayei HaKol.
Page 8.
Nekadesh et Shimcha ba'olam, Keshem shemakdishim oto bishmei marom, Kakatuv al yad neviecha, V'kara ze el ze ve'amar, Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzevaot, Meloch haaretz, Kevodo. Adir, Adirenu, Adonai, Adonenu, Madir, Shimcha bechol haaretz, Baruch Kevod Adonai Mimkomo. Echad hu Eloheinu, hu Avinu, hu Malkeinu, hu Moshienu vehu Yashmienu, berachamav li'enei kol chai. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Yimloch Adonai leolam, Elohayich Tzion, ledor vador. Hallelujah.
Ledor vador.
Ledor vador.
Ledor vador.
Ledor vador.
Ledor vador nagi gad lecha. Ledor vador.
Ledor vador.
Ledor vador.
Ledor vador.
Ledor vador nagi gad lecha.
ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש, קדושתך נקדיש, ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש, לעולם לעולם ועד.
Ledor vador.
לדור ודור,
Ledor vador.
לדור ודור,
Ledor vador nagi gad lecha. Ledor vador.
לדור ודור,
Ledor vador.
לדור ודור,
Ledor vador nagi gad lecha. Excellent work, everyone. You may be seated. And now, page 9.
Page 9, that's my favorite
That's
page.
my favorite page. Our closing song, Oh Say Shalom. Let's sing it out for peace.
עושה שלום
Happy Sunday, everyone. Sunday,
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 Sunday.
Sunday.